Hi, my name is Donna, and today I want to talk to you about self-care. So join me as we jump right in. Self-care is a form of health care, a way we take care of both our mental and physical health. And I talked about this a little bit about 6 months ago in a previous video. I'll leave the link to that in the description below, where I talked about my wellness checkup, and from June of 2020 to June of 2021, I had another checkup. So I have them every year, my annual checkup, where they do all my blood work. And I'm going to share that with you later in the video, my results as a result of eating a plant-based diet for 30 days and how it affected my overall physical health, in addition to my normal self-care routine. And I want to talk a little bit about that. But I do have the results from last year's wellness checkup and this year's wellness checkup that I'm going to be sharing. So I'll have my notes here and I'll kind of refer back and forth to them. But basically, you want to maintain good health, just overall health. Two types of self-care that you have to address. One is when you're healthy, you're in good health, you want to have a self-care routine, and also have a self-care routine when you're ill and not feeling well. And one thing I do for self-care is I love to drink herbal teas and relax, watch YouTube, but I'll talk a little more about that in just a bit. We all engage in some form of self-care, whether it's what we choose to eat on a daily basis, daily exercise, spending time with family and friends, spiritual, religion, the amount of sleep we get, making sure that we're getting between 6 and 8 hours of sleep, our social, emotional, mental, physical. It could be hobbies that you might have, and various things like that. Whatever it is, those are various ways you can take care. We all engage in some form of self-care, whether we realize it or not. But it's important that we create a routine so that we have mindful self-care. There are 4 areas that I want to address in terms of self-care. I think of my self-care in terms of a wheel. And there are different spokes on that wheel. And the 4 main spokes is, 1, your physical health. And that would include things like exercise, your daily exercise. Choose an exercise that you enjoy. The type of eating plan that you have, whether you're vegetarian, vegan, have a paleo, keto, there are all types of eating plans out there. But try to eat a balanced diet that's nutrient dense. I personally eat a flexitarian eating plan, which is basically mostly plant-based, but occasionally I will have some type of animal products, such as grass-fed butter, organic eggs, salmon or tuna, turkey. And I try to eat as much organic as possible, but mostly plant-based. I think of my health in terms of a wheel, keeping a wheel balanced. And when you think of the spokes on a wheel, there are 4 main spokes that I try to focus on. And 1 is my physical health, 2, my social, emotional health, 3, my mental health, and 4, my spiritual health. And I try to do things each day to keep that balance. One of the things that I do daily when I wake up, for spiritual, is first thing I do before I get out of bed is I will say a prayer. Then I'll get up and do my morning routine. I'll take my supplements. I'll drink 4 glasses of water, spring water, and get on my treadmill. If the weather allows, I might go for a walk or go for a jog, maybe 2 or 3 miles of a walk or a jog while I listen to a podcast or a YouTube channel that I enjoy watching. So that's a part of my morning routine, and then I'll get dressed. I do intermittent fasting. A few years ago, and my A1C was a little high, so I decided to take control of my health by doing research to do things that will help keep my A1C at a normal level. And what I researched and found that worked for me was intermittent fasting and mostly plant-based eating, and that has helped keep my A1C low. So I continue to do intermittent fasting every day. I usually eat between 11:30 and 12 o'clock each day. So I do about a 14-hour fast. I normally stop eating around 8 p.m. and I don't eat again until 11:30, 12 o'clock the next day. I will drink water, herbal tea with no lemon or honey, things like that at night. I'll drink a cup of chamomile tea that helps me relax. Also helps me fall asleep, actually. I enjoy herbal teas. This tea that I'm drinking today is a turmeric and ginger tea with honey and lemon, fresh squeezed lemon. And I drink it either hot or cold. I'll make a big jar. I have a link to the video on how I make this tea, and it's in the description below. Check out that video and make this as one of my favorite herbal teas in the winter or summer, hot or cold. I enjoy drinking this particular tea, which is also a part of my self-care, is drinking herbal teas. It brings me joy, so I drink them often. I'm going to talk a little more about my physical self-care. So when I finish my morning routine, I will exercise. I have meal prep, but my goal is to eat healthy by starting with an avocado with lime juice. The thing is having a salad and an avocado. I try to have that every day. And I'll drink some turmeric tea or some other type of herbal tea. I enjoy drinking coffee, so I will have that occasionally in the morning before my meal. I try to take time during the day, 5 or 10 minutes, to just have some quiet time to decompress, do some deep breathing, meditate, usually around my lunchtime. And it helps me to calm down because I have a very busy schedule with teaching and coaching, and it can get stressful. So I try to take 5 or 10 minutes a day to just meditate and breathe and get in a quiet place. I also try to get between 6 and 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep at night. And I have a whole night routine that I go through, especially during my coaching season. It helps me to wind down, decompress, de-stress, because when you're coaching, your adrenaline is going, and you got to get those hormones out of your system so that you can wind down and have a good night's sleep. So that is also a part of my physical self-care, is getting consistent sleep at night, 6 to 8 hours. So let's talk a little bit about social self-care. That is really important to me. I spend a lot of time talking to family and friends and trying to visit family and friends on the weekend, especially when I'm busy during the week. I think it's important to connect with the people you love and care about, spend time with them, whether it's going for a walk, working out together, cooking together, playing a game together, whether it's a video game. My daughter loves to play video games. I'm not much of a video game person, but I enjoy watching her play and talking about it, just going into her world. And she loves to edit videos, so we talk about that. She'll show me her videos. We do play board games a lot, like Monopoly, Scrabble, Dominoes. So we do things like that together. So it's important that you find time to spend with family and friends each day. And sometimes when you're really busy, you might just pick a day or two where you just designate that day to spend time as often as possible. Dinner time is a good way to spend time with family and friends as well, whether it's meal prep together, cooking together, sitting down having dinner together, or having tea together. Another very important self-care that we may take for granted is our mental and emotional self-care. It's the way you think or feel at any given time. It's very important that we set aside time to talk to someone we trust, whether it's a counselor, therapist, a close friend or family member that you trust, especially when you're going through difficult times. But it's very important to set aside that time on a regular basis to take care of your mental health. And finally, spiritual self-care. To take time to fellowship, worship, meditate, pray. It's also important to take time to have moments of gratitude, to show thanks and appreciation for the things in your life, the people in your life. It's important to show gratitude for all the blessings that you have in your life, such as clean water to drink, a roof over your head, healthy food that you can eat, people that love and care about you. And to keep those things in perspective is really important, especially during difficult times when you're dealing with various issues in life that can tend to overwhelm you. Take time to show gratitude and appreciation for the big things in life that come along, as well as the small things, and the people in your life that love and care about you. Take time to spend in nature. One of my favorite self-care is going camping. It forces me to relax and sit, spend time in nature, taking in fresh air, doing almost nothing, because if I'm home a lot on the weekends, I'll find things to keep me busy, whether it's cleaning, running errands, various things that'll keep me busy. So when I'm out camping, I'm forced to just sit and relax, and I really enjoy that. So that's a big part of my self-care. So I go out and go camping, walking in nature, hiking as often as possible. So now I'm going to talk about my wellness checkup and share that information with you from June 2020 and June 2021. So I am going to refer to the notes because it's a lot of numbers here. In June of 2020, my blood pressure was pretty normal. It was 118/88. The top number is the systolic and the bottom number is the diastolic in terms of your blood pressure. And the top number, you want it to be less than 130, and the bottom number less than 85. Last year, June 2020, my blood pressure was 118/88. This year is 126/95. So it went up. However, this year Before I took my wellness check and they did all my blood work and height, weight, waist circumference, and they also swab you for tobacco use, which I don't use tobacco. I don't. So this year I did a 30-day plant-based diet before I had my blood work and wellness checkup. And the results were a little better this year compared to last year. However, my blood pressure was a little high, so I'm doing a little more to focus on that and keeping my blood pressure low. My blood glucose was 93 last year. This year it was 94, and you want it to be less than 100. My cholesterol was 219. You want it to be less than 200. So in 2020, it was 219. This year, my cholesterol was 197. So it was lower, and you want it to be less than 200. So I got it down less than 200 with the plant-based diet is what I contributed to, because that's the only thing that changed in my wellness routine or my self-care routine. My HDL, which is my good cholesterol, was 68. You want it to be greater than 50. In 2020, it was 68. In 2021, it was 71. So it was higher as a result of the plant-based eating. My bad cholesterol, LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, in 2020, it was 128. And in 2021, it was 108, and you want it to be less than 130. So I also got my bad cholesterol down, which was really good. My liver enzymes, they also check that. It was good last year and it was good this year. The numbers were even better this year for my liver enzymes. So I contribute that to the plant-based diet as well. My abdominal circumference for last year was 36. You want it to be less than 35. This year it was 34. So I took it down 2 inches. That was pretty good. And you want my BMI less than 25. Last year was 26. This year it was 25. So not too big of a difference, but I got it down, and that was good. And I also lost 8 pounds this year. So I wasn't trying to. I was just eating a plant-based diet, and it helped with my weight as well. So I will continue to do my intermittent fasting. I will continue to exercise 3 to 5 days a week, whether it's a 2 or 3 mile walk or jog. I also do a lot of stretching, yoga type stretching. I will continue to eat my salad once a day. I will continue to stay on the flexitarian eating plan. In the meantime, thanks so much for joining me on my wellness journey, and look for some future videos on healthy meals and meal prep. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the notification button for more of my videos. Check out the videos that I currently have on my wellness channel. And thanks for watching. Love and acceptance.